Good afternoon. Welcome back. It is Saturday, December 30th, 2023. We're in the penultimate day of this series, as it will come to a close tomorrow. We have a handful of birthdays to talk about today, but we do have one event that did take place on this day in 1956. It counted towards the 1957 race number 3 of the now Cup Series schedule, then Grand National Series. It was the Indian River Gold Cup 100 at Tatuattsville Speedway in Tatuattsville, Florida, on a 1.6 mile road course. I don't know much about this track, but Fireball Roberts won the race, and he led 29 of the 56 laps in that race. 1.6 mile road course cannot be extremely big, because, Watkins Glen and Sears Point right now are about 2.2, 2.6 miles. So, not quite a mile shorter as this track. So, it must have been, the first NASCAR road course back in the 50s was at, I believe it was Linden Airport in New Jersey. And it was all left turns except it had one right-hand turn in it. And they considered it a road course, but this one's probably similar. I don't know enough information about it, but it'd be interesting to learn a little bit more, so I may have to dig a little bit deeper in that just for my own personal knowledge. So anyway, let's talk about our birthdays. First one we do not have a card for, but born on this day in 1959, former president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Mr. Tony George. Moving forward, born on this day in 1973, former driver for Junior Motorsports, Mr. Shane Huffman. And Shane drove that 88. He was one of the original drivers of that. Him and Mark McFarland kind of, one started the year and then got released and the other one took over. And then eventually they both, I believe, became crew chiefs in the ARCA series. A little odd, but that's how their career trajectories kind of went. Up next, speaking of the Busch series, Xfinity series, born on this day in 1938, he raced up into the very early 90s in that series. I believe he continued to race at his local tracks for many, many years. But that'd be Mr. L.D. Ottinger. Lloyd Dolph, L.D. So there you see some information here. He was definitely a short track ace. There you see 3 wins over the course of, at then 290 Busch Series races. And I believe the last race he won was that race at Bristol that Michael Waltrip had that horrible crash in. Up next, a driver that's raced fairly recently in the Xfinity Series, born on this day in 1994. He's raced for RCR and Jordan Anderson Racing, amongst other teams. Myatt Snyder won that race at Homestead. Now, I don't remember him racing with Superior Essex colors, and I thought maybe that might have been J.J. Yaley, but then you can kind of see the name Myatt Snyder there on the belt. So I thought that was, I'll have to look and see when he ran those colors, but he was a Tax Slayer driver there for a while with the 2 different teams. We mentioned Jordan Anderson and RCR. And here's a good look at the Jordan Anderson car. Of course, that is the car now driven. I can't think of his name. I can see his face. Forgive me for a second. Let me hit pause here so I can think about it. It's a good thing I hit pause because I just sneezed immediately after. Parker Retzloff was the name that I was looking for there, who drives the 31 now for Jordan Anderson Racing. I always get Jordan Anderson Racing and Sam Hunt Racing confused because they both came in kind of at the same time and run very similar font styles on their numbers. And our final birthday, born on this day in 1934. He's a former Daytona 500 winner. Hall of Fame member in 2015, and he's also the first driver in NASCAR history to achieve over $100,000 in winnings in a single season. That'd be fearless Freddie Lorenzen, Golden Boy. I believe he now lives in Elmhurst, Illinois, where he's from, in a nursing facility, nursing home, assisted care living, whatever you want to call it. But he's getting up there in age, of course. Like we said, 1934. If I said 38, I apologize, but 1934. Look how they raced back in the 50s and 60s. That was crazy. a good look at him. And then I got a couple cards here coming up. There's a nice look. I'm trying to see if any of these cards on the back had a picture of him. I know the last two have different cards that he ran. Not sure which card this is that he ran. But there's a picture of him in Victory Lane. Miss what? I don't know. I thought that was going to have the race name, but it doesn't. But I want you to look at this. These two cards are 15 years apart. This one and the one behind it. We got Pro Set, and we have a Press Pass. And they use the exact same picture. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. But there's a look at the Holman Moody Ford. I believe that's Holman Moody. And then this one was Nichols Engineering. But very cool. Got some really cool cards there. Got a lot of birthdays today. I couldn't believe how many we had. Tomorrow we have just about as many. So look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our final birthdays and events of the year. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.